Got to talk about your team then, unfortunately.
We must. We must.
Last two games,
Yeah.
pretty unbelievable, right? Beating City in the derby, going to Arsenal, beating Arsenal.
Yeah.
What are we thinking about Michael Carrick? Does his A show how terrible Ruben Amorim was?
Yes.
Because Michael Carrick, in a few days, had him playing like that against City.
Yeah.
Is it too early to say you want him to stay? Is that a mistake? Where are you feeling?
So, first of all, I think it's hilarious that it took Ruben Amorim 1 whole year to get back-to-back Premier League wins, and Michael Carrick did it in his first 2. Ruben Amorim, up until leaving, had only 2 clean sheets. Michael Carrick already has the 1. So there's just stats right there, like you just said about
and
Ruben
your
Amorim.
two biggest rivals as well.
Against 2 biggest rivals.
Two of.
Yeah. 2 unbelievable performances. What impressed me the most from those 2 is that against City, it was win the ball and go. 5-6 man, you're all free to go on the counter attack. Arsenal was a lot more tame, and I think it's probably because Michael Carrick felt that if we do try transition, that probably likely than not, Gabriel, Saliba, Timber eat us up in that sense. So against Arsenal, there were lots of moments where we were staying on the ball, we were bopping it about, we were keeping you almost pressed into your half. There was lots of moments which I didn't expect that from a United side. So the difference in approach was what impressed me from Michael Carrick from a tactical point of view. Talking about going forward,
let you off the hook though, to be honest.
In what sense?
I'll tell you why, because like I said, for those first 20-25 minutes, Arsenal looked really good. We looked dynamic, we looked aggressive, we were winning first and second balls. But then we scored the goal, and then rather than kick on and really put it on you guys, we somehow, I don't know what happened, whether it's a psychological thing or whatever, but we just the tempo eased up. We started making mistakes and we let you back in.
I think we also set up the tempo a little bit more after we conceded. I think the instruction from Michael Carrick was don't concede in the first 20, and so I think the instruction was to sit quite deep in, which also played into your hands. I think we did press a bit higher, a bit more aggressively, because that goal that Mbomo scores, it is a mistake by Zubimendi, but it is also us not allowing you to play passes through us and closing off possible exits for that to get to where it does. So there is a bit of that. But with Michael Carrick in general, so I think it was Gary Neville that came out and said that no matter what, he shouldn't get the job. I don't agree. If he from now up until the end of the season does really, really well, then who are we to say he can't have the job? I mean, like, when Eric Ten Hag's job was on the line, they were looking at different managers. People like Kieran McKenna were on that list. Is Kieran McKenna that much more qualified than a Michael Carrick? And Michael Carrick, I know it's a bit cliche, but former player of the club, does get it. This whole DNA stuff isn't completely like nonsensical. There is something quite tangible there in terms of, there is a style of football that that United want to play, and Michael Carrick gets
He's not lost a game in 2 spells as manager.
Yep, and he's beaten in that time Unai Emery, Mikel Arteta, Thomas Tuchel, he drew, and he's beaten Pep Guardiola.
The thing is, though, like, it looks really good on paper, and the last 2 performances have been really good. But if you actually think about it, even under Amorim, even under Ten Hag, United did flourish in big games. You beat us at Wembley in the FA Cup final. Even the first game of the season, you gave them a pretty good game. Probably shouldn't have lost that. You're always pretty decent in the big games. The test is going to be in the games against the smaller teams, where you aren't just going to be able to put 10 behind the ball and try and hit them on the counter.
Like
and it's going to be,
right?
when it's going to be like a bit of a basketball game. That's when the test comes, right?
Yeah, so for example, against Fulham, I want to see, for example, a Luke Shaw be dropped and a Dorga go left back, because we're expected to have more of the ball. I want to see more attacking impetus. The thing I would say with what you just said there is, granted, we're often good against the bigger sides, but we dominated you in a way which I've not really seen in the last 10 years, if I'm being honest. You barely had a look in. We had several chances.
We were terrible.
You were.
I actually think, and this is not to discredit you, I think we were worse than you were good.
Potentially.
I think you were good as well, but we were dreadful.
You were. Your back line was mistakes
abysmal,
riddled in that back line. So there is a bit of that. But, like, for example, with Arsenal, going away to the Emirates has always been pretty, like, tricky for us. Like, we haven't won there since 2017. So that in itself is impressive, but it was also just the manner of us actually, like I said earlier, bopping the ball about, staying on the ball. Like, that's not something, like, when we do often beat big teams, it is on the transition, it is counter-attack, it is low block. Whereas yesterday it didn't feel like that. So, listen, too early, far too early. We're literally 2 games in. There's 15 games to go for Michael Carrick. So, come end of the season, we'll see. But if he's done well, then I don't see why we can't have that conversation, because the other candidates out there, I'm not massively inspired by. There's a few names I like that are at the World Cup, and frankly, I don't want to wait until the end of the World Cup to then bring in the manager. I want the manager there at the start of the summer.
I do think as well on that, bringing in Steve Holland appears to be a very good stroke, if not a master stroke. I think that's some good thinking there, some good lateral thinking to bring him in. A lot of people looked at it, is that going to be the segue to bring in... what's his name?
Southgate. This talk of Southgate is just nonsensical. It's just
not having him.
No. It's not. First of all, I'm not having him. Second of all, it would never happen. And third of all, I don't think Southgate wants to manage.
Why would it never happen when your CEO is an affirmed admirer of Gareth Southgate?
Dan Ashworth was the admirer of Gareth Southgate, and Dan Ashworth is gone. So this whole
what about Ratcliffe though?
Ratcliffe, I think he said I think he's been quoted to say he likes him, but not as he's never been in that conversation of manager. But the media will spin that because it's funny and it's Gareth Southgate, so whatever. But no, you make a good point about Steve Holland though. I completely agree. The pedigree he's got, winning leagues at Chelsea, etc. That'll be a big help.
And you could see on the touchline yesterday, there were certain times in that game where Michael Carrick was going to him, and you could see them having a little talk, and there was definitely some back and forth there. That's good. Yeah,
and I think also Carrick's been massively helped by Mbeumo coming back from AFCON, Ahmad coming back, Maguire coming back from injury. So a lot of positivity. I mean, we're top 4 right now. We're 2 points ahead of Liverpool. We're 1 point ahead of Chelsea. So we're looking up. Do we go to someone who's not so?
We will do in a second. Ronnie Dodge in the super chat says, "Kim, we did you a favour. I think City go on a mad run."
When Sesko came to United, and I said to Robbie, I sat right there and I said to Robbie that you signed the wrong one, and you should have gone.
Argument falls down.
Why?
Because if you're suggesting that if we had had Sesko, that would have been the answer, then he's got less goals.
He would have been better than Gyökeres.
He's not much better.
He would have been better than Gyökeres.
He's not much better.
He would have been better than Gyökeres.
Listen, you should not be mentioning Sesko. This man came on yesterday, and the sum total of this man's contribution was...
He got smacked in the face. Hold on. I'm not having that.
Don't forget.
Do you know why I'm not having that?
He tried to clear off the line.
Do you know why I'm not having that? Hold on. I'm not having that.
Order.
All the Sesko fanboys, he's 6'5".
Fanboys?
He's big, he's strong, he's athletic. The man took one little ball to the face on the floor.
He got walloped in the face, but go back and watch that Cunha goal. Go and watch that Cunha. That Cunha goal doesn't happen if Sesko doesn't make the run that he makes. He makes the run, which takes Gabriel out of position and opens up the space for Cunha to have the shot. There is something in there. And either way, my point is, what I said from the get-go is Sesko's a better footballer than Gyökeres, and I still stand by that. End of the season, we can come back to this and
as I always
whether
say
we're right
to you,
or wrong.
Bro, you could listen. All this, he's the best footballer. Reference Erling Haaland. We're not trying to see that, bro. It's goals. You said
but your guy don't get goals anyway. And 2 of his 5 came against Leeds. One was a pen.
Neither is.
Hey.
Your striker's actually alright.
Even your guy's drying up.
Your striker's good, but the rest of your team's a bit
cooked. How many goals
that's,
he got? Ekitike now. He's not scored for about the last couple of weeks, has he? In the Premier League, anyway. We got the best defence, best goalkeeper. One of the best midfields.
Best keeper?
You don't have the best keeper.
On current form.
You don't have the best keeper.
His
positioning. You have the best defence.
His positioning for Cunha's goal is very suspect for me. But
can't blame him for conceding that.
No, come on, go watch it back. No. Cunha's finish is brilliant.
Even my man's goalkeeper, Donnarumma, with that wingspan would have struggled to stop it.
I know, it was. But
the disappointing thing about that was not Raya. It was the fact that Cunha, who we know is capable of that sort of thing, that was just so... That was so negligent from Arsenal. Yeah, for a guy like that.
He's been doing that at Wolves.
Shall I tell you something, right? And this is the truth. We were doing a watch-along at the Hippodrome yesterday for AFTV. And as soon as Cunha came on, I said to Kenny, who sat to my right, I goes, I'm really worried about this because I know what the plan is for Cunha to come on and do. I've seen him do it for Wolves against Arsenal at the Emirates. It's a very similar goal. As soon as he picks up that goal, rather than them close him down, they stood off him and let him run. You let a guy like that get a shot off. Well, because he'd have run by six.
I told you.
Nothing to do with that.
No. Jokes aside, though,
Sesko had nothing to do with that, trust me.
Arsenal are very lucky that there's not another good, really good, consistent side right now because
if we were better, you'd be in trouble.